What's up, guys? Welcome back to this show. Welcome back to the show. This is the 8 a.m. show where we talk about in the next 90 days. This is, I think, episode 3 at this point. The next 90 days, we're talking about the core values and the core philosophy of 8 a.m., which center under alignment, alignment under God, alignment with your soul, alignment with the energy of the universe, where we talk about alignment, creation, creating things, whether you're creating music as literal as that, or creating art, or maybe you're just creating deals. Maybe you're in sales and you create deals, or maybe you create technology. Maybe you're a developer. Whatever it is, you're a creator. And then connection. How do you connect and interact with and meet with other people, other like-minded people on your frequency? And so we're doing like a rotation here. So it's basically going to be every 3 days. First day is going to be about alignment. Then it's going to be about connection. And day 3, creation. Day 2 is creation. Then day 3 is connection. And we're just going to cycle these 3 themes as we build out this and lay out this philosophy. I'm recording this one from Cape Cod, which is where I grew up. I'm looking out at a beautiful day. It is. I can't even. This place is just so gorgeous. Like the ocean energy is like, it's early spring, of course. I guess it's like mid spring now. There's seagulls. The sky is completely blue and just light clouds, and the ocean is this like teal green with dark blues as it goes further out, with waves, gentle waves coming into the sandy shore. And it's just a beautiful place to transmute you guys this energy. So I'm very, very excited for this episode, which is called How I Attract High Vibe People into My Life. And so, this podcast, it's for this episode it's this whole entire series is really for a very specific type of person. It's for the type of person who is a creator, right? Now, I want to define that loosely because when people think of creator, I think they think of like content creator or like artist, or they think of like someone who's like actively doing artistic things or like weird artistic things. But I define it more broadly. Okay. I think a creator is really almost everyone is a creator, because every day we just walk out and talk to people. We're technically creating from something, and we're creating something. We're creating our energy and putting it out into the world. And so the creation that you're working on, typically in terms of like a work standpoint, could be, I guess, more hobby, but typically from work, can expand beyond just like art or music, right? Like if you're, as I said, if you're a developer, you are creating technology. If you're in sales, you're creating conversations that that help a prospect make a decision. If you're in accounting, even like my accountant is a creator. He's creating financial harmony for my business. He's creating financial harmony for people's businesses. He's creating strategies. Okay. And so whatever it is that you do work wise, you're probably creating in some capacity. And this podcast is for people who create, because the way that I've found is the best way to attract people into your life is through your creations. Okay. And this is how I do it. Right. And so the first thing to do, if you want to attract high energy people, high vibe, high vibration, like-minded people into your life, is to protect and curate your energy. So you have to start with alignment. You have to start with meditation and prayer and tapping into your own energy field. Like, how do you actually feel in this moment? Do you feel light? Do you feel expansive? Do you feel like giving? Do you feel like opening your heart and sharing with people? Or do you feel constricted? Do you feel down? Do you feel like depressed? Do you feel sad? Do you feel low energy? Do you feel tired? Do you feel desperate? Do you feel hurting? Do you feel do you feel low energy? Right? If you feel low energy, you're not going to attract the greatest relationships. Okay. You're going to attract hell, actually. And so what you want to do is you want to, number one, focus on releasing energy that's holding you down, letting go of it. And it's actually the easiest spiritual practice to do in order to do this is literally just to focus on wherever you feel tension, and you breathe in, hold it, tense your entire body, specifically that area, and then you exhale with a double exhalation. And you let it out. And you just relax. So that's like the easiest thing. It's literally just inhale, hold the tension as hard as you can, squeeze your fists, and then exhale, and then the tension releases itself, and then you're lighter. You're literally just lighter. Now, sometimes with that release, you have to take action. You have to create boundaries. You have to protect your energy against deals, people, relationships that are interfering with your high vibration energy. Because if you're high vibration and you encounter someone that's low vibration, if you try to go in and fix them and bring them up to you, you're actually going to get dragged down with them. So you have to first curate your energy at a high level, create boundaries that protect your energy so that you're only around high frequency people. This is why, like, a lot of questions I used to get were around, like, people in college or in high school, and they felt like all their friends, all they wanted to do was drink and party and smoke and all that. And they would ask me, like, how do I get high vibration friends? And it's like, well, honestly, you have to put up boundaries. You can't you hang out with dogs, you get fleas, right? So if you're hanging out with a bunch of people who aren't going to the gym, who aren't taking care of their health, who are watching, who are playing video games all the time, right? Like Fortnite or whatever, and just being degenerates and smoking weed and just doing, things that are just taking them down, then you're going to be like that too. And even if you aren't, you being around them, picking up on that energy, you're going to be frustrated about it. And it's just going to take you might be high energy most of the time because you're like meditating and feeling really good. But then every time you think about them, your energy dips down to a low vibration and it disrupts your whole shit. So you don't want to do that. Trust me, you do not want to do that. I've been there. You do not want to do that. You want to end that cycle. So if you encounter low vibration energy, you will feel it, especially if you're more empathic. Empathy. Empathic means you just have a lot of empathy. You feel into other people's energy fields a lot. You got to be super aware, and you got to create distance between yourself and what makes low vibration energy. You kind of pick up on it from other people in their behavior and whatever it is they're doing. So typically, when you start to do this and you start to elevate your frequency, very naturally, the energy that you start creating in your work and whatever it is that you feel called to do starts to emanate out of you. It's like these podcasts, it is like a total release, right? It's just like a totally great feeling to just come in here and just talk. And it's like I'm just unleashing this positive, happy energy out into the world, out to you, right? And so when I do this, this is like in the next episode, I'm going to do a deep dive on the scale of consciousness by Frederick Dodson. And so Frederick Dodson and also Dr. David Hawkins talks about this. There's like a frequency of consciousness, right? And when you're in this like planning and productivity and taking courageous action and also creating and from a place of love, you hit higher levels of energy. Okay, it's actually like quantified. You can feel it, but you can also quantify it. And so in the creative process, it's like what they would call on a scale of 0 to 1,000, it's around like the 500. When you're actively creating and doing your craft and imbuing positive energy into it, that act itself is super high level. And what happens is, and this is how you attract high vibration people into your life, you literally, when you create from a place of pure, clean, aligned energy, you've meditated in the morning, you've prayed, or whatever it is that you do for your energy work to get clear. You've maybe read some books, downloaded some wisdom, you've gone to the gym, you've gotten sunlight, you've eaten healthy food, and then you start creating. The high vibration energy that you feel ends up living in the work that you do. Okay? So this like this is why, like, you know, the ancient scriptures, when you read them, you get this like super high level energy. Like you read the Bhagavad Gita, you read the Bible, you read the Quran, you read the ancient, spiritual texts, you read Autobiography of a Yogi. The frequency of the person that created those works lives in the word. The word is literally alive. Like it lives in the creation. It's the same thing with like a painting, like a famous painter, uh I'm trying to think. Let's say take like, some of the great Renaissance masters, like a Rembrandt, right? When he was mastering his craft and he was creating the art, he was hitting these super high frequency states in his creating, or Da Vinci, right? That level of mastery, that level of high energy that he's channeling is is literally imbued into the stroke of the brush, into the paint. And so when you look at that painting, right, it translates to you. It literally translates to you. Okay? And so it's the same thing with this podcast. Like, I'm obviously recording a video and you can kind of feel the energy that's coming off of me, and you can feel it, right? It's imbued in the work. Okay? So that being said, when you create and you're putting out this energy, right? Whether, no matter what it is for you, for mine it's like super literal and visceral. Like the energy that I'm putting into my creations, whether it's music, whether it's a video like this or a podcast like this, whether it is a newsletter, whether it is like building my business, that is going to attract the right people. That is going to attract the most aligned people that would build relationships that I would want to build relationships with. When I'm creating, clothing, and people are attracted to the clothing, it's all imbued with this energy that I'm feeling going into the work, and then that is what attracts people. So I've found that when you're doing your craft and you're imbuing it with like the creative energy that you feel, that's the best way to attract people into your life. Literally, like the best way to attract people into your life is to actually feel high vibration energy and put it into your work, and then let your work attract people. Okay? And it's not necessarily through like social media, right? Like your skill set speaks for itself, and it will attract people into your life in the form of meetings, in the form of, people just admire what you do and they think you're a cool person. And so I want to be clear with this. Anyone who even has something that most people might consider like mundane, like an accounting job, right? Like even an accountant, of course, can can take what they're doing and instill the frequency, a high vibration frequency, into their work. They're creating harmony in a person's business, in a person's finances. And that's a very high level thing to do. And so when you as an accountant are working with your clients, like I'm thinking of, there's a couple accountants that I know, that there's accountants I've worked with in the past that do not really love what they do. They don't really have super high vibration energy, and you can feel it through their work. But when you do meet an accountant that you can tell really likes what they do, they really like helping people with their business and their numbers and their finances, you feel it in their work. And there's several, like one accountant in particular, he's actually the accountant for the company Parker. His name's Ari. He's amazing. The dude is so high vibration. Like, I love hanging out with this guy. And it's like, why you wouldn't think that he's a creator per se, but he is creating he's creating high frequency energy with the work that he's doing. And um and yeah, it's that's how you do it, right? You create high frequency energy within your system, and then you instill it into the work that you do. And so that's honestly kind of it. Like that's basically how you do it, because any other tactics that you try to, this is what I got wrong in the past. Any other tactics that you try to add on top of this, like influence, persuasion, power dynamics, those are all not trusting God fully. Okay? When you're, for example, let me give you some examples of this. So because it's Easter as I'm recording this, I want to give you some very clear-cut examples of like how this applies in the Bible. So Judas is the one that ends up betraying Jesus. And part of the reason is because he literally, he doesn't trust God. He's trying to lean on his own understanding. He's trying to lean on tactics and schemes in order to feel really safe in the world. And basically there's a scene. This is John 12:4-6, and Matt 26 and 6-13, and Mark 14:3-9. The scene is in Bethany. Mary breaks open a jar of pure nard worth almost a year's wages and pours it over Jesus' feet. The room is instantly filled with fragrance and pure devotion. And then Judas enters the room. He's the treasurer, and he snaps and he says, "Why wasn't this perfume sold and the money given to the poor?" Not because he cares for the poor, John tells us, but because he's been skimming from the purse. And here's the punchline. So Judas is operating from a paradigm of control and scarcity and image management, and this is the lowest rung on the energy scale. Mary is operating from alignment, from abundance and heartfelt creation, and she literally turns money into a fragrant act of love. And so fast forward a few days, and Judas's control paradigm metastasizes into the betrayal for 30 pieces of silver. His vibe attracts his tribe, right? So basically, it says it here, like, when you're operating from control, when you're operating from especially image management is like one of the highest paradigms of control, because you're trying to control what other people think of you on the outside because you don't feel good about yourself inside, and you're trying to have your image, you're trying to have your image attract people into your life. Okay? And so that's not good. You don't want to do that, because that basically is communicating to God, communicating to your soul. My soul doesn't feel good. I need to have my external, whatever clothes I'm wearing, whatever watch I'm wearing, however much money I have, whatever my hair looks like that day. Like, obviously you want to be well groomed and like have decent clothes, but that's not what you lean on to attract people. If you're so stressed out in life that you're using images, you're using money, and you're using these external things to attract people, you're not leaning on the internal world. You're not leaning on your creation. You're not confident in your actual self. Okay? And so what you want to do, right? Or, I mean, you do whatever you want to do. What I want to do, at least, is I want to guard my energy first. I want to guard my energy, and I want to let that energy flow out through my creation rather than a control paradigm, right? And I hate to say this, but a lot of like the tactics that I previously taught and what was super focused on in like Tribe Accelerator were all about image perception and image management. Whereas the truth is, the way that I've attracted the best people into my life was not through image perception. It was through just waking up, feeling aligned, talking to the camera, and just sharing energy with the world. That's literally just sharing my creations, and that's what attracted the most interesting and the best relationships. So whatever it is that you end up baking into your work, whether it's music, whether it's content or spreadsheets, like, it doesn't really matter. Whatever it is, imbue it, instill it, infect it with the energy of alignment, and it will attract the right people to you. You don't have to worry about the rest. You literally, like, just focus on yourself, focus on creating, surrender to the flow of what happens when you put that creation out there, when you share that with the world, and things will unfold. Circumstances will unfold, relationships, things will just unfold for you. And that's the main message of this episode. It's a pretty straightforward one. If you enjoyed this, please go ahead and share it, give it a like, drop a comment, send me a message on Instagram if you liked it. And if you feel called, go to 8amapp.com to apply to the members club that I'm creating, where we focus on these principles of alignment, creation, and connection, and how to use these more so in your life, but also how to, not how, but to literally connect with people that are focused on these same principles and ideas, and creating really cool things. We have people that are creating AI agent infrastructures. We have people that are creating, literally, like, we have a really insanely talented color editor. Like, he edits like films and commercials. We have people that are in music. We have people that are in events. We have people that are creators of all different types. We have people who are making 100K a year, people who are making 10, 20 million a year. So the range, the spectrum, I don't care about how much money. I care about, are you aligned? Are you focusing on alignment? And are you focusing on creating something and imbuing that alignment into the creation, whatever it is? The money doesn't matter as much. Okay. So that's my message for you today. Hope you enjoyed. 8amapp.com, 8amhouse.com if you want some clothing that is imbued with this kind of energy. And I'll talk to you in the next video. See you tomorrow.